All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to a weekly market focus, whereby we actually check, what's going on in the market in terms of the week that is actually coming. Today it's the 17th, the 17th of 3, 2024. We are actually trying to look, about the market that is gonna come from the from the day of the 18th all the way. I think it's gonna be all the way to 22, which is gonna be Friday. So first of all, what we have to do, it's actually to check in terms of the fundamentals that they're gonna happen in a week. And now we're gonna now try to transfer that information of the fundamentals and go to check it out on the market, and trying to see the next opportunities, trying to see where exactly we can be able to get a chance and enter in the market and make something for ourselves. So before I go further, this information it's purely for education purposes, not actually directly information of telling you what to do or what to trade or which stock or which instrument you should be able to trade. Right? It's purely for just education purposes. So right, without wasting more time, I think today from Monday, which is on the 18th of March, the biggest news that is actually coming is from China in 4 a.m. In terms of the Asian session, there will be industrial production year to year. So industrial production year to year is gonna come from China, which also is gonna drive the instrument like a JP225. It can drive, HK Hong Kong instrument as well. They can have a highly impacted volatility. So that's what is actually coming on Monday, tomorrow on the 18th of March. Most of Mondays, there is no much in terms of the liquidity, in terms of volatility in the market. We don't see that much in terms of movement in the market, and we can see it as well through the fundamentals that we are seeing. That it's only the biggest news. It's only coming from China, and the rest of the day is just normal impact of news, but it's not going to have that much in terms of volatility. But moving on Tuesday, which is March the 19th. We are actually seeing JPY, Japanese yen, having the monetary policy statement, which is also is going to drive a lot of JPY. With seeing also Bank of Japan coming with the policy rate. What interesting part about the Bank of Japan last week, they actually announced the hiking of the interest rate. So they're already hiking the interest rate from Japan. I heard also some of the news they're saying companies from Japan, they're now starting taking their money and opening the companies as an offshore because of the hike of the interest rate. It means things in Japan, they're really really expensive, and everyone is trying to find a way whereby they can be able to gain a little bit of profit from there, or a little bit of saving from there. So moving on later, coming on 6:30 a.m., we are seeing RBA press conference, which is also is gonna affect from is gonna drive Australian dollar having a high impact of volatility. Going again, the Bank of Japan again press conference. So I think Tuesday there's much in terms of Japanese. They're gonna release a lot of volatility. There's a conference from RBA rate conference. We're seeing Bank of Japan policy rate. We're seeing also Bank of Japan press conference as well. Moving on 2:30 p.m. we're gonna see Canadian CPI, Consumer Price Index from Canada. We already see the Consumer Price Index from US and Producer Price Index from US. The last week, the week that is coming from, we saw all those numbers surpassing the estimated numbers that they were estimating, which is really really showing a very very good in terms of a dollar being in a positive. And we saw a lot of indices, breaking the level, going all the way high. Things like S&P 500 breaking the 5,000 mark. We saw Nasdaq as well breaking the level of 18,000. We saw S&P, US30 breaking the level of 38,000. So a lot of things in terms of the stock, they've been on a higher level because of how the CPI, Consumer Price Index from US, and again Producer Price Index, and the numbers of job that are actually continue increasing it. So we're gonna see Tuesday 2:30 CPI from Canada. Moving on Wednesday, there's a bank holiday from Japan, so there's not gonna be any activity there. But we are seeing Great British Pounds Consumer Price Index as well. Again, we saw the Great British Pounds the ECB coming up with a statement in terms of pausing the hike of the interest rate. So again, these policymakers, they make their policies based on the information that comes from CPI, the information that comes from PPI, the information that comes from actually numbers of the job. So we are starting again this week from Britain, coming with the CPI. Then the following, I think during the week they're gonna have also producer price index. Then the following week, that's where the central bank is gonna come. The ECB, European Central Bank, is gonna come and announce, the interest rate, whether they're hiking, pausing, or reducing in terms of the interest rate. Wednesday, 10:45, there's ECB President Jesse speaking. I think just after CPI, he's going to be speaking. Again, Wednesday, 8 p.m., there's a federal funds rate, FOMAC economic projects, FOMAC statement, FOMAC press conference, on a FOMAC press conference, 8 p.m. So again, we have seen all the numbers from the job numbers, from consumer price index, from producer price index. Now the data has gone to Federal Reserve, which is the FOMAC statement or FOMAC press conference. Now they're the ones they have to now, make a decision in terms of how they're going to hike the interest rate, or they are not going to hike the interest rate. So we are seeing that coming on 8 p.m. on Wednesday. 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, it's the same thing for my press conference. But 11:45 p.m. there's a GDP coming from New Zealand. So Sydney session, we want to see Wednesday also high volatility coming from NZD there. Moving on Thursday, 2:30 a.m. Sydney session, there's Australian employment change. Going on 10:15, we're seeing French fresh manufacturing PMI. I think it's going to drive instrument like GER30 there. We're expecting to have, or even the Eurozone, to have a high impact volatility. 10:30 a.m. as well, we're seeing SNB monetary policy statement. Again, German fresh service PMI. So a lot of instruments from German, from UK100, German 30. They're going to have a high impact volatility, including the euro correlated instrument. Thursday, 2 p.m. Monetary policy from also GBP. As we said, that they're waiting for consumer price index that is coming on Wednesday. Thursday, that's where they're coming with a monetary policy. We are seeing GBP MPC official bank rate votes as well. So a lot of Great British pounds, they're going to have a high impact volatility there. Moving on Friday, which is the last day of the week, that's where we're going to see the retail sales again from GDP, 9 a.m. High impact volatility there. Again, all day there's a Euro Summit. So Euro Summit is coming also on Friday, the 22nd March, where a lot of leaders from Europe, they're going to speak. And whenever these leaders they're speaking, we're expecting volatility from that instrument. So from France, from Italy, from all European countries, they're going to have their own summit. The big one on Friday that we're closing, it's a Fed Chair Powell speaking. This is the announcement of the interest rate now, the hike of the Feds, which is going to be Fed Chair Powell, Jeremy Powell speaking on the US. This will be 3 p.m. on Friday. So that's actually how in terms of the volatility high impact looking. There's a couple of news. That's GDP coming, CPI from GBP, again CPI from Australian dollar. You see GDP coming from New Zealand. We see Federal Reserve also coming with the US federal funds rate. FOMAC economic projects are coming also this coming week. So a couple of news, very very interesting in terms of high impact volatility in the market. Yeah, so now we have to jump in and actually look in terms of the chart and see how the chart is looking, and just give a little bit of prediction about how the market, about the following week, and how the market is gonna go. All right. So these are a couple of screenshots that I took in terms of the how the market is actually moving at the moment on a weekend. Today it's Sunday the 17th, as we said. We can see Dow Jones, it's actually sitting at 39,059 according to Yahoo Finance. S&P 500 a little bit dropping, 5,000 169, but again it's above 5,000 mark. NAS100 Nasdaq is sitting at 16,200 at the moment. In terms of the tech wise, Alphabetical, which is Google, sitting again at 139.85, again gaining with a 1.35%, which is a little bit of better gain. One of the top talks as well, it's actually US. They're actually voting in a parliament against the bill of a TikTok. Should they allow TikTok operating in the United States or not? That's another story, and that's another thing that is going to drive in terms of the tech instrument from the following week. The results we're going to see today. Then by Monday, we're going to have clear results in terms of the votes and how it actually look. In terms of the social media instrument, Meta, it's dropping, sitting at 493.24 in terms of the stock. Snapchat growing up with a 0.27% growth, sitting at $12.4 per share price. So that's actually a few stocks in terms of how they're actually operating currently on this. Okay, so now we can jump in a chat and actually try to see how the market is gonna look in terms of the following week. All right, regarding the volatility, I think the first one that we saw, it was the Chinese on Monday, but I think the biggest one, they were actually coming on Tuesday, where we're seeing Australian dollar, Bank of Japan having an announcement in terms of the market. So if we go, let's say we look into on a Monday, let's look into JP225. Because of Bank of Japan, they're actually dropping some information. There'll be a press conference, so I think it would be wiser if we actually pay attention. Maybe look on the Bank of Japan. Hey, let me see if I can hide this. Here we go. All right. BOJ, Japanese 225. 225 is sitting right now at 38,888. As usual, we want to take the market to the bigger time frame, 4 hour, or as well as maybe 1 hour. It makes a little bit of sense. The way we're seeing the market is coming from all the way it drops. I think it drops because of the interest rate that Bank of Japan has actually hiked, and now there's a little bit of stability that we see from the from 3-4 days of last week, right? We can see from the 12th, 13th, 14th, all the way to 15th, the market has been playing around on the same time. But this is the positions where the market is actually playing around now. What I'm personally thinking is that the market, it won't go to where it's actually coming from after the Bank of Japan announcing the hike of interest rate. So I don't think it will get to this level. I'm thinking the market, it might push a little bit and actually get to this level, right? Until a positivity announcement that has come on Monday and Tuesday, then it might break, going back to 39,910, which is a couple of move. If you check it on a 30 minutes, you can even have your trailing sell or your limit order at this position, targeting as a take profit number one, all the way going. If we go to 1 hour, you can see targeting another take profit, another take profit. So couple of move that is going to happen. This is where I'm seeing the market goes all the way to Tuesday, touching to this 39,910 on Tuesday. Maybe from Wednesday and Thursday, and might again dropping back to the level of 39,100 or 38,889, back again on this level. So pretty much on Friday this week, we might end up close the market of Japanese yen or JP225 on the low of 38,481 or 38,889. So that's what I'm thinking about the Japanese yen. Of course, because of the hike. But again, they're having a very, very good press conference to announce, so it might pushes the price all the way up, breaking the zone of 39,000, get to 39,900. I'm not sure if it can get to 40,000. I'm not sure. The last time it was on 40, I think it was 6th of March, which is not really far. So there's a higher possibility, but because of the interest rate has been hiked, so obviously the Japanese yen itself, it has to lose a little bit of momentum or a power against the other correlated instrument. That is why we're thinking that it might only bullish a little bit, but come back all the way down back again. All right, moving on, we're seeing again Canadian dollar coming with the CPI. So it's actually wiser as well to jump in and look for Canadian dollar. So let's look at USD, maybe USDCAD, UDCAD. Let's do USDCAD. All right. USDCAD, we can see last week drops because of the US CPI and PPI pushes the price all the way down, and now it started collecting, pushing the price up. Where do I think the market will go for this consumer price index of CPI? Now, if you go to like 30 minutes, look how the market has actually range. Uh, So pretty much Wednesday, when the consumer price index pop up, CPI from Australia, we're going to see a little bit of push down. Remember, this is a USD Canadian dollar. That means when a Canadian dollar is actually gaining momentum, this is where we're gonna see the drop. The position, the upper bullish movement, it was the dollar gaining the momentum. It was dollar having the CPI, having PPI, consumer price index. That's why we're seeing push the price up. Now it's a 10 of the Canadian dollar coming with the CPI. I think it might come to 1.34925, break that zone all the way to 1.36550. That's a level that actually the market can get there maybe around Wednesday. Around Wednesday, might pushes the price up to this level. Now, for the following few days from Thursday and Friday, depending on the positivity also with the dollar, but I don't think the dollar can be weakened the whole week because again, there's a Federal Reserve coming in and it might again change the direction and start pushing the price up. Now, what you need to actually pay attention is this range, the range of 1.35486 and the range of 1.34650. So this is the range where you need to actually pay attention, whereby the market might drop all the way to this level and again push the price again all the way up. So we're expecting Wednesday push the price down, but since once the FOMAC members Jeremy Powell, they start actually speaking, coming with the interest rate, we're going to see a dollar again gaining the momentum back. The market will close on Friday above again. Do we see that it can go above 135? Yes, there's a higher positivity that it might Friday the market might close uh, on these levels, right? Highly possibility that Friday the market might close at these positions. But for now, we are seeing a drop, a little bit of a drop until Wednesday, Thursday, starting picking up all the way up again. So that's what we are looking in terms of USD CAD. Again, it's based on the consumer price index that is actually coming on Tuesday. Again, on Wednesday, we are seeing the CPI from Great British Pounds. So I think it's also wise to actually pay attention on the GBPUSD. Let's look on the GBPUSD. Nevada. All right, bigger time frame, we can tell that the Great British Pound has been actually rejecting, pushes the price all the way down. Uh, again, is because of an insanity of of actually central bank, president of central bank Jesse, when she actually speaks in terms of the hiking of interest rate. She's not talking about they're gonna start reducing, but she's actually putting everything on a pause and again leave the plate open to that it might be able they might be able to start hiking the interest rate, right? Or they might be able to start reducing the interest rate. So there's a couple of things they that actually that actually pushes the GBPC all the way down. Now this coming week is going to be a very tricky week. Of course, consumer price index is coming from GBP. But again, remember, we should always remember there's also FOMAC member that is coming, from US. So I think Great British Pounds, it might actually look on the 30 minutes how it's actually look. So when consumer price index drop, it might actually push the price to this level. Yeah, from here pushes the price bullishing up to 1.28176, and that's actually a couple of move. The intention is to cover this actually particular position. So this is anticipation of uh move from Tuesday to Wednesday. You'll see on Monday it won't have that much volatility. It might go all the way close maybe at 1.277565, but going on Tuesday to Wednesday, it might pushes the price break. This zone goes all the way bearishing up. But when we go to 1 hour, we are seeing the positivity here that it can get there. But do I think it might get there? I don't think so, because of, again, there will be a dollar news that are actually coming up. So I think, again, by the end of the week, we might anticipating to see GBPUSD again closing on a low, but there's opportunity that it might push the price all the way up again by Wednesday, and you can collect some couple of cash there. But anticipation also of dropping because of the dollar news that are coming from Thursday to Friday. Jeremy Powell speaking, former member press conference coming in, giving a dollar a little bit of stability and power to make sure that it pushes the price all the way up. So that's for GBP USD. If we move on, what other instruments that actually, of course, we see the euro fresh manufacturing. I think this is also that is going to combine with a German fresh manufacturing. Maybe also we can pay attention on a German 30, where German 30 is actually sitting right now. It's been forming the double top, 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 double bottom, we can say. We can pretty much see the double bottom. Again, short trades, might be a short trades where you can take by the opening of the session on Monday. Of course, the London session, it might pushes the price all the way up here, but the anticipation of during the week is to push the price all the way down to 17,945. That's the biggest target that we're going to see, is to push the price all the way to this level. This is the level that is a big target, but at the moment it might actually show just a little bit of indication of going all the way up. Then when it's done there, uh, then okay, here pushes up, then trying to drop all the way and close the week at the low zone, at the low zone at the moment there. All right, that's German 30. And as well as I think is going to perform pretty much the same with the UK 100, which is FTSE 100. But what really caught my attention is this space of UK 100, is this space, right? Because of the market has gapped up on Tuesday during the consumer price index all the way down. Since it gapped up, the market hasn't recovered here. So I'm really anticipating that the market, it might pushes the price to 7,804 to recover the gap that actually gapped up. If you follow, the technical, rules, you might know that once the market gapped, the following move is to recover the gap that actually market gapped up. But there's a couple of targets that you can be able. You can target here as your first, TP to collect some money from here. You can target there, it can break, you can target at this position, then will be your highest position after recovering the gap. Sometimes it doesn't really recover fully, it can just retest, push the candlestick up and push the price all the way down, form another candlestick and start moving the price all the way down. So that's actually how I'm thinking about UK 100, because already it has showed the gap. It might actually push the price all the way up and recover that gap for the following week. Again, based on the information that are coming from Euro, which is fresh manufacturing PMI that is coming from France. Again, is coming again fresh manufacturing PMI from German. Again, German flash service PMI coming as well. So those, it might actually push the price all the way up to recover the gap that caused by consumer price index the last week. The last two instruments that we have to look into, it's NAS100, of course, based on the information that come on a formac member speaking, Federal Reserve Chair speaking, and again, there's a formac press conference that are actually coming. So, what we think about NAS 100? If we go to a bigger time frame, NAS 100, we can see it actually close on a low. Again, we already see on those screenshots that I actually show in terms of the tech instrument, how they're actually performing. S&P 500 is dropping all the way. Now, do I think the dollar, it might continue weaken, pushes this level down? I don't think so. I think this is where the market is going to now start getting the momentum from Wednesday, Thursday, pushes the price all the way up based on the information of Federal Reserve Jeremy Powell coming with, right? So we're seeing the bigger picture there, that the price might bullish all the way to 18,236. So that's what I'm thinking about NAS 100. Where do I think it might close the market by the end of the week? I think by the end of this week, NAS 100 might close the market above at this level 18,381, because the last actually fundamentals that are coming on Friday, it's a Jeremy Powell speaking feds on 3:30 p.m. On the US. So definitely in terms of the dollar, it might push the price all the way to the higher level of 18,381. That's the close of the business of the week, going all the way to Friday. Another instrument that we can close off with, I think we should look on US30. Where's US30? Okay, this is the CN50s here. Okay, US30, US30, US30. Okay, here we go. US30. If we look at the US30, it actually trying to recover just a small drop. Of course, the market is closed at the moment, but from beginning of the market open on Monday, obviously it might push the price, bump it up on 38,600, and then start actually moving all the way high. How far it will go by the Monday, Tuesday, it might push us to 38,900 and 983. Around there, around Tuesdays, Mondays and Tuesdays. But the bigger target, again, as we say, to NAS 100, I possibly think the bigger target, it's actually going all the way up to 39,200. That is actually push the price from Thursday to Friday based on the information that are coming from Federal Reserve, FOMAC member speaking, FOMAC press conference, Jeremy Powell also speaking. So, of course, that's actually how the market is looking in terms of the fundamentals, and we use those fundamentals. We look into the instrument, see which one we can take advantage. Yeah, that's the opportunity for you guys to jump in the market and actually see, compare your analysis with what I'm talking about with my analysis, and see if you can be able to jump in the market and capitalize. Lastly, do not forget 360 Capital has 50% bonus, 50% equity bonus. It means when you deposit from a minimum of $100, they give you extra $50 on your equity. That means your equity will be on 150. Your margin again is going to be bigger. That allows you to actually execute a bigger trades, or even to hold longer in terms of in terms of the trades. So yeah, thank you very much for actually watching, for tuning in. Keep subscribing on the 360 Capital page. And again, if you don't find me on the 360 Capital, go search on the YouTube the Daily Money Market. You'll find me on the Daily Money Market. My name is Che Yusuf. Thank you very much.